in relation to the integration, the matters really will be discussed much further in the coming summit before the end of the year. But of course, also in relation to that, there was a concept paper that was presented for SADC, which emerged from a consultation between three heads of states, and then they submitted it to the Secretariat, and then the Secretariat submitted it to the countries. So it was presented and noted, and ministers will be working on it for a submission in the summit for the end of the year. Very important, adding value to the issue that has been discussed in general in terms of the integration of the infrastructure of the region. So I think from that point of view, there is going to be a lot of discussion about what kind of approach do we take with regards to very specific projects that link all the countries in SADC. So I think that has been a very good discussion, which gives us a hope that the coming summit will certainly take very concrete decisions on the matter. That concept paper begins to have a long view of what we need to do by at that time in terms of creating the kind of network that brings the integration together in SADC. Today, probably slightly different than the usual times. Firstly, I think there was a very good opportunity for all parties to present their views in addition to the report that was given by the facilitator. The report which said there is a sense collectively in Zimbabwe of urgency of all the parties. They have been interacting. They've made some movement on a number of issues. There are some other issues that are still outstanding. They, of course, added in the discussion by putting across their views, all three parties, given the assessment of what they said, clearly, no one of them says we don't want to move forward. Everybody says let us move forward. What is important, though, is that all parties are still very much committed to the GPA, which is a framework, and all of them are saying there's no other vehicle except GPA. So that says the parties being sensitized also with regard to time, just 1 year to go, that the current unity government will legally end its term. Everybody feels we need to deal with the matters. So the parties were urged to go back and really try to do something. They are ready to do so. The facilitator will have very soon a meeting with the leaders of all the parties to really try to find a way. The proposal or the suggestion made to the parties is that given the issues that are remaining and given the time, we should be able to say what are the real issues really that need to be cracked on and be concluded, and what is a possibility of putting in the time frames. The time frames then which must emerge from the kind of an agreement they are going to have in terms of how to implement their own agreement. That then would mean that discussion must produce the time frames, must produce at what point would be the elections, because there are things that need to happen before the elections. So rather than debating the dates, whether the elections should be on this month, this year, or next month, that would have been a debate that would not help us. What will help us is to look at the issues and then say we believe that this issue could be resolved within this time, etc., etc. That kind of metrics will help us, therefore, to know that the realistic date is this one. That's the kind of an understanding we reached, and I'm sure very soon when we meet, we'll be able to determine whether we are able to do that within this year or next year. We believe that SADC has a very strong case to present, has a very strong candidate, has therefore a very strong chance of winning the elections. We believe that SADC's time has come. But secondly, that we need a candidate like the candidate we're putting forward for the purposes of the transformation of I nearly said SADC, of the AU Commission, which must be there to implement the program of the continent. And we believe the candidate we have has all that it takes for the Commission, AU Commission, to do what the African continent needs. So we believe our pushing our candidate is based on principles, but it's also based on our views that we need the AU Commission to transform, to be able to implement and advance the African agenda. So that's what we are doing, and of course it is done within the parameters of democracy. We've campaigned, lobbied very vigorously. Maybe we've been able to reach a number of countries to raise the issues. And the issues are raising are political issues. Political issues in one sense and in another sense. The issues that Southern Africa has never had an opportunity. Why must it be not allowed to participate in the leadership of AU structures? Those are the issues we're raising. Now maybe we are raising the issues more frankly, and maybe people don't like that, but if people, you don't, because one of the problems, you don't hear what is it that makes people to feel this candidate is so strong. Because you cannot put, this candidate has been there for 4 years. You can't say there have been successes. We decided, for an example, not to wage a campaign that was negative. If we were to be negative, we would have been identifying the kind of problems and failures. But we decided not to do so because we didn't think it will help. It will not be good. It will not be promoting understanding and unity. In a sense, we've said, here's a candidate. The other one has had his time. And we think we've got a candidate that could help. If we say we need to transform the AU, it means the AU is not transformed. It is operating in a particular way. That's not bullying. It's just stating the fact. We could give examples if we wanted to do so, but we thought we shouldn't do so. We should just say we need to take the AU forward. It's a chance, and everybody acknowledges, all regions agree that indeed Southern Africa and Northern Africa, since 1963, have never had an opportunity to do so. So what's the problem? That's why we don't understand what's the problem, because then they must be given an opportunity. So the matters are as simple as that.